Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here, back with Fate Reforged complete limited set review. We're going through every single card in the set and discussing its limited value. And today we're continuing with Red. Timur Battle Rage is our first card. It gives double strike and can give trample. Seems a sure powerhouse way to both swing combat as a trick, but then also to push through tremendous amounts of damage by mid-game. I think it's very flexible combat trick. Smoldering Efreet I don't like. It's 2 for 2, fine, but then take 2 when it dies. I don't think it's all that good. Mardu Scout's kind of the same way. Yes, he enables raid, and he's cheap enough that he's actually workable that way. That's kind of the only reason I'd even consider him being functional. That's the main thing for him. Mardu Runemark, 2+2 and first strike for 3 is not terrible, but you open yourself to 2 for 1s, which is dangerous for that kind of effect. It's not that powerful. Lightning Shrieker is a creature form of lightning lava axe, which is not all that great. I mean, it does prevent you from getting milled out technically, so I guess if you find a pseudo mill deck that you're against, then great. But most of the time it's going to be hard to work raid and it together, and it's okay. It's basically 5 for 5 that you can potentially repeat. It's okay, I guess. It's hard to judge it because Lava Axe was not that great, but this is a creature, so maybe, I don't know. I'd have to play with it before I actually give my final judgment. Gore Swine, this card kind of makes me feel like it's that bear from Khans of Tarkir, 3 for a 4/2. This is 3 for a 4/1. I think it'll still do the same kind of business, but it does leave itself open to a lot of stuff in the set with 1 toughness. Goblin's Heel Cutter is really powerful. The fact that it's basically an aggro card that takes out their strongest creature, blocker, whatever, and it has dash, I think it's a very flexible, cheap dash, good card. Fierce Invocation, I think this one is more expensive than the others. The white one is very playable. This one I think is a bit bad. Defiant Ogre, I don't like. It's really going to be a sideboard card. There's not enough super powerful artifacts. I'd really be worried. Collateral Damage is okay. I like that you can block, sacrifice it, and then do 3 as a gosh, it's slipping my mind. Lightning Bolt. There we go. It can act as lightning bolts. I think that can be powerful in the right kind of deck. Bathe in Dragonfire, 3 for 4 damage. Seems like a decent removal. Heat Ray or whatever that card is called. Saw play, and it's kind of the similar range of this spell. Wild Slash is solid also. I like there's a lot of 2 toughness creatures, as I've mentioned. This card potentially prevents damage. It prevents damage prevention, and it's also instant speed damage, so I think it could work as removal. At the very worst, it's a good sideboard card. Vault Breaker, 4/2 for 4 is not quite as good. 3 for a 4/2 is not quite as good, because it requires you attacking with it, so it's okay, not great. Shockmaw Dragon is really strong, especially with the limited cards that we have. There's a lot of 1/1s or 1 toughness creatures that could exist, and it's of course a big flyer anyway. Rage Form, yeah, it's basically a 4 for 2 double strike, which could work very well, especially if you have Morph going on in your deck. But regardless, I think it still could work. Of course, it opens yourself up to 2 for 1s, which is why it's not fantastic. It's just good. It's workable. Pyrotechniques, I like that you can divide it up. I think that'll matter a lot more as a sideboard card against aggressive strategies, less as a uniform removal. Hungering Yeti is it's 5 or 4/4, which is fine. The fact that it can get flash, it makes it pretty solid as creatures go. Humbling Defector I don't like, even though yes, you get the initial first draw, but then your opponent gets the draw and it's back and forth. I don't think it's a worthwhile investment. Friendly Fire, also not a great investment, too much randomness. Dragon Rage I think is very strong, especially if you're running any sort of aggro strategy, because it'll either give you the swing for the win, or it'll give you a lot of mana for your second main phase, which encourages people to manage to assist with raid. I like it. Break Through the Line is awful. Bloodfire Enforcers, it could be strong, but there's so many things that can take on 2 toughness. I don't love it. Outpost Siege, of course, is great, like all these sieges, or basically all the sieges in limited. Mob Rule, I think, will swing a lot of games. I like that it's flexible, because in this format, it'll give you the flexibility you need. If you're doing a turn 6, it can potentially take the board and win, or assist yourself with winning, or basically take the strongest creature, do a lot. I mean, it gives you what you need. You take the strongest stuff, you take the smallest stuff, whatever you need. It seems very flexible. It can be going to swing games in limited, no question. Flame Wake Phoenix, fantastic for limited. It's just a strong, consistent flyer, well costed, and the Ferocious is fantastic, giving you consistent play. Because it doesn't even hit play tapped. Very strong card. Flame Rush Rider, I like it. I really do. I think it's a very powerful limited card. The fact that you can dash it off, get 2-for-1 attacks, very strong card. Arc Bond is going to be a fun combat trick in limited. I do think it'll often do well. It's a little narrow, but not enough that I wouldn't consider playing it. Alicia, who smiles at death, is fantastic, of course, and you better run her, as well as Shaman of the Great Hunt. They're both really strong in limited, which is to be expected given that one is a mythic and a good one at that, and Alicia gives you consistent advantage, especially if you're running an aggressive deck. So there we go. All the red cards. Red looks pretty solid to me. In fact, I mean, so far all the colors look solid, but red seems particularly good here. Again, I'll go through my pre-release primer. I'll go through which colors, color combinations, etc. I think are ideal given this set, and my general thoughts about what I'm considering running. We'll get to that as we get closer to the end of the week, but for now, here we go. Let me know your thoughts about the cards down below in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree? I'd love to hear more down below. If you enjoyed this video, tap the like button if you're new to the channel. Check in and subscribe. As always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.